do. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, everybody out in internet land. Hello, hello, hello. Cryptid, hello. When I first met you, I still had an oil-based hot water. I still had oil-based hot water was not fun. Nice. I felt like a pilgrim. That is very pilgrimy. Yeah. I guess it's like, yeah, it's reverse. I mean, I know some people still use like oil-based cooling systems for like computers, like, so it makes sense that oil would still be used for heating as well. I just had never, I don't know, I just anytime I hear oil, I just automatically assume whale oil and, you know, the 1800s East Coast, like Nantucket. All right, Jesus Christ. You sweet West Coast man, yeah, oil's not a thing out there, not a thing. Just of course, in the desert there was no such thing as heating. You just did not do that. There was no reason in hell you would want to heat anything at all. Moon Runes, welcome. How are you, Moon Runes? How you doing? It's because I sent you the scrimshot. That ivory, or the whale ivory scrimshot was badass, man. That thing looked cool as hell. And now you just want to be old man in the sea. That's true. That is true. I too will not catch the fish. Or wait, no, he catches the... Does he catches the fish... Wait, I always forget. No, the fish gets away? And then... Yeah, I think the fish gets away. I'm trying to remember now. How we don't have ACs here, the absolute opposite of desert rat life. Yeah, that's true. That's why heat waves are so bad over both on the East Coast and in Europe, too. Because a lot of places in Europe don't have central air. You're good? It's good to have you back. It's good to be back. I almost was not able to stream today. Things got a little tight. But I should be in a good place. For corporate. A lot of corporate work just got dropped on me at the very end of last week, so it's been a crazy week so far. After a crazy month. Before the last 10 years, we didn't even need ACs. You'd just be ceiling fans. Yeah. I mean, that was common. I mean, even in Colorado, it was pretty rare to have central air, which you need now because it break 100 pretty often in the summers in Colorado now. Cryptid, but how you doing, Cryptid? Or sorry, not Cryptid, Moon Runes. My God, how are you doing, Cryptid too? Cryptid, how are both of you doing? I've heard that Moon Runes, you've been continuing your streak of just being on fire and writing words like mad. So if that's the case, hats off to you. We all are looking up to you now because words have not happened on my end. They heard you were let loose from the facility. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You took a nap. Naps are always good. Naps are good. I haven't been sleeping great, but it's fine. Take drugs later. Yeah. Insomnia is brutal, man. Yeah, I really hope you can get that sleep stuff figured out because that is rough. I've been there to a degree, and it made me feel like I was dying. She's been killing it. But I'm done for the moment. It's in Cryptid's hands now. Moon Runes is like, I'm done. We're in rest mode. Well, that's good, Moon Runes. I'm glad you were nailing it. So, good job. Hats off. But yeah, hopefully things schedule should settle. I keep saying that, and then it keeps happening. I mean, who knows anymore, man. But ideally, the schedule should normalize. I don't have anything that seems like it's going to take me off the schedule. But it's been like, I don't know about all of you, but January just seems like the past couple of years, January is a lot. And then at the very end of January, I just all of a sudden got a bunch of things that I had to do or that people were like wanted of me. I was like, okay. So it became a whole thing where it became a juggling act. And it was all happening while I was doing all the facility stuff. While I was playing with blocks, as one might say. Um, so I'm ready to like for things to settle so I can actually get some goddamn work done because it's been very difficult to get work done in the midst of what I would describe as an utter shit show the past 3 weeks. I was staying up till midnight like every night for like 4 days in a row to have it ready in time. Oh, are you submitting moon runes? Were you just getting? Did you have a deadline? Oh my goodness. Well, if you are submitting or it sounds like you got it done in time. So yes, take a break. If you've been working that hard to get it wrapped up, you have earned a break. My goodness. You got to stop summoning the schedule gremlins. Dude, there is no summoning, man. It's like I don't need to summon when we're already kind of in hell. It's like already happening. It's ridiculous. This January was the most I have ever had. Good lord, remodeling the house was easier. Honestly, yeah, I don't know what's going. It feels what. Stop feeding them after midnight. Oh, moon runes. There we go. That's the answer. That's what I was doing. I kept leaving out crumbs for all the little gremlins to eat after night. No wonder everything's gone mad. It's. Also, the weather is not helping. We've been in the middle of like a 2-week long heat wave. It's been in the 80s, like the mid to high 80s, all flippin' winter. It's like, what is this? Why? I mean, I know the world's on fire, but Jesus. I do have it, and it's very, very good. You'll still have some adding to do, but oh nice. Oh, are you doing some edits? Are you doing edits, Cryptid? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, then, Moon Runes is in fantastic hands. Thank you. I've been a nervous wreck. Yeah, I'm doing a full developmental. Hell yes, Cryptid. Fuck yeah. That'll be great. I'm glad you're doing that. That makes me very happy. Yeah, and I feel you, Moon Runes. I definitely anytime I submit a script off, you're always a little terrified of how it's gonna go. The notes you're gonna get back. There's always the imposter syndrome meets it'll just have one note at the top, just it's bad, redo, and you're just like, oh. So I get it. See, that's why I don't tell Wilo when I'm doing a beta read for him. He just gets them. Yeah, they just get handed to me. I mean, luckily I'm at the point now where my way of combating that anxiety is to just have everything out there. So it's just a constant, I like when the anxiety eventually dies down, you just kind of, it just gets out there and you're perpetually exposed. And at that point you just go numb a little bit. What do they call that? It was like exposure therapy? I guess. I would never say that's because you're a good editor, Cryptid. That's why. Yeah, you say it's bad. You never say it's bad. It's because it's very rare for things to be bad. That's the problem. Usually, it's just people suck when they say things are bad. Usually, sometimes things are bad, and that's fine. You can write bad things. You gotta, like, that's the trouble, is being comfortable being able to write bad things and have it just be like, oh yeah, that's bad. But most of the time I think the work that everyone really dives into, none of it's bad. It can be refined, it can be tweaked, it can be, worked on, but it's very rarely bad, particularly if it's sincere. Yeah, well, I would never say trash is bad. I will not equate those two things. I just recall a conversation I had with a screenwriter friend of mine. They had this whole story, and they wrote it out, and it was great and stuff, and they just realized that the subtext or the thematic thing they were doing might be racist, and they were like, oh, well, I guess we're throwing that in the can. Just didn't even realize it. Just completely blind to it until they just took a step back and read it, and they were like, I think this might be mildly racist. And it was like, yeah, that happens. It happens, man. Sometimes you you really do. You hyperfixate. You think an idea is really cool, and you hyperfixate, and then you miss the forest for the trees. Happens more often than you'd think. Um, yes, that is exposure therapy. Yeah, yeah. That's why the scripts are always up, and that people can just read them and tear them apart if they want. And that's actually also why I started writing on stream too. It actually became a lot easier to do that once, you just people kind of see the terrible stuff as you workshop it. It kind of helps a little bit. If you put your passion behind it, it'll probably be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you put passion, yeah, yeah. If it's for my litmus test is purely sincerity. Like if it's just sincere, if people care about what they're doing and what they're trying to say, it's the most important thing about any. That's the whole fucking point of art. It's expression. It's expressing ideas and feelings and experiences to other people. That's for me. That's literally the litmus test. That's all that matters. The rest of it is crafting and can be honed and treated through time. It's just your perspective, your point of view, your emotions, your feelings being communicated to other people. Like I tell Ghostly, write Doritos. Everyone loves Doritos. It does not have to be Moby Dick. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can kind of get bullied around a little bit by kind of the pretension of great works. Even though, like, even Moby Dick at the time was considered a trash novel and not. Most fiction was considered trash of its era. That people come back around and are like, "Oh my god, it's brilliant!" Like, very rarely was it like written as high fiction at the time it was. At the time it was published. See, that's why you work with sensitivity race, the racism, etc. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. It didn't even need to go that far. They just saw that the fundamental premise of it. It's kind of like one of those things that, like, Idiocracy is a really funny movie and the concept itself is very funny, but like when you think about Idiocracy for 2 seconds, it's straight like that movie is just straight up the premise of that movie is eugenics. Like, it's really weird. So you're like, it's a funny premise, but like if you had like, and it's a deeply funny premise, but the moment you like think a little deeply about it, you're like, oh, there's some questionable. The premise is a little questionable there. It was not well liked at the time. Yeah, most things weren't. Maybe Joyce is an exception. There's some writers that I think are the exception, but Dickens, Melville for sure. Hawthorne, yeah. Hawthorne was its only fan for a long time, and yeah, Hawthorne, he was the only fan of Moby Dick for sure, and even had a lot of critique in his letters. Oh yeah, yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, but now we live in Idiocracy. But that's true, and it has nothing to do with breeding. It has everything to do with everything else. Nothing, yeah. So that's how that works. But anyway. Well, I'm glad to be back. It was an exciting time. It was an exciting time getting to play with blocks. They had some of the questionnaires, by the way, had some wild fucking questions. Like there was one where, it was like asking, like do you feel like yourself, or do you feel like you know yourself in the morning, or something. It was phrased weird. It had a weird phrasing, but it was like, do you feel like, yeah, I think it was like, do you feel like you know yourself in the morning? And I was like, oh, like I definitely wake up feeling like not like myself. Like I can feel that pretty relatively. And then, but I was like, initially I read it and I was just like, are they literally asking me if I like don't feel like I am me? Like am I having like an out of body experience? And so I was like, there's no way they're asking that question. So I clicked on the sometimes, or feel this way, and then went to the next question. It was like, do you think other people can hear your thoughts? And I'm like, oh, we're talking about like straight up crazy shit. Okay. So then I had to go back and change the other one, because I was like, no, I'm well aware of who I am when I wake up in the morning. I do not have sudden amnesia. Anyway, it was very strange. Like, some of the questions took me by surprise. I was like, are you asking me that I'm fucking crazy? Like, not to sound, if you have that, you're not crazy, but just the degrees of there was a big degree there. There was a jump in my brain, in my interpretation of the questions, between whether or not I feel like myself and whether or not I actually am myself. So anyway, wild stuff. So there was some wild questions for sure. Hold on, let's see here. It's good to have you back. We missed you dearly. Oh, thank you. Please tell us the date. Yes. No, I'm barely alive. Give me my matcha. I'm not awake enough to have thoughts. LO Sam, I need my coffee. No, and thank fuck for that. Yeah, right? I was just like, it's some of those questions were very strange. No, and then so as we say often in this house, when people have to say dumb shit online, some thoughts need to stay inside. That's really something. Damn. Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of the questions in like one of these questionnaires was very like I don't know if it was they were trying to test to see if you were like undergoing psychosis, because like some of them were just like, or like some of the questions were phrased where I'm like, are you trying to suss out if I'm like like there's narcissism or like sociopathy here? Because it was very strange. Like very intense questions about like I'm right. There was definitely some stuff about like the world's out to get me, like actually conspiring to get me, like some stuff you would hear like paranoia wise. So that was kind of crazy. I assume that's what, it was like, it was checking for schizophrenia. Yeah. The thoughts thing definitely felt like it was checking for schizophrenia. Or like some sort of paranoid delusion for sure. So yeah, that was fun. What else are there? The blocks. I definitely, I guess I'm saying this now because of one, writing Schism, and also because of Ghostly, but like I definitely crashed out twice. where the therapist had to like stop the clock. Yeah, I had two moments of like having like I stopped functioning. Yeah, one was a word association one, which I was like I don't think I'm terrible at, but she just kept rejecting every association I made between the two words, and I was just like, I don't care anymore. I hate this. My brain is blank. Stop. It's a whole thing. Anyway, and then the other one had to do with like multitasking audio and visual responsing, which I generally have trouble with in general. I need to post the regular guy model from Dropout on the memes board. Oh, nice. What did you do with the blocks? Oh, the blocks I had to do shapes with. I was pretty good at that. I felt like I did all right with that. I don't know. They don't like really react to it. We're not supposed to crash out at all, sir. We made a deal. Yeah, no, I definitely had like a little bit of a breakdown. She had to talk me through it. The way that she talked, she was just like, I think that first portion was, I think, IQ. I think that was the IQ test, which I don't do well. I don't do well with tests. I never have done well with tests. I had this issue when I was a kid too, but I also don't do well with IQ tests. And yeah, anyway, that was, she was just like, all you have to do is get a 70. We just need to make sure that you don't need to be in like a home. And I was like, a home? What? That's where I literally was like, oh shit, they actually are going to take me away. Anyway, it was funny. It was fun. I say it was funny. It was long and exhausting and lasted way longer than I wanted it to. And then I had to like get my mom to fill out all this stuff. It was a whole thing. At some point, this test becomes psychological torture. Okay, so that's one of the things they did. They straight up did that shit. So when you're like when I had to do the audio, visual response thing, the light at the desk started flickering and it like strobing, and it freaked me out. And I actually like, when that happened, I definitely it's gonna show up, I'm sure, on whatever test metric thing they have. But I 100% like was just like dealing with the light at that point, and so like, after it got done, I just took the like headphones off, and I was just like, whatever you did with the light, I hated. And she just like laughed, and she was like, yeah, sorry, we have to do that. And I was like, it's like, ah. Anyway. It wasn't like full on strobe, but it you know, when I'm trying to focus on a thing and all of a sudden the light starts doing like getting brighter and darker, it wasn't like a full on like strobe effect. but it felt like that when I was trying to concentrate. Um, I would have gotten a migraine, and then they would get a migraine after I punched in the nose. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Anyway, so weird. It was kind of it was a trippy to see. It was trippy to see just generally what they do and how they do things. Like the whole assessment testing thing is very strange. I will say though that the facility that I went to had very nice lighting. The ambient lighting was very nice. It was not that like harsh top down. It was all very like dim and very sleepy. That made me very happy. So at least like the ambient lighting in the building was great. Did not freak me out. That's wild. I've only ever been assessed for a few things in DBT, but nothing like that. Yeah, no, this was involved. It was definitely involved quite a bit. Yeah, yeah, it was interesting. And it was hours. I mean, like literally, if they took up, it took up like pretty much the entire days in most cases. I mean, I was also taking the bus there and back and stuff, so you know that adds time. But it was an involved deal. I got to find out the many ways a brain works, which is fascinating to a person with loud brain. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely like kind of gone and done my own little like research rabbit holes about kind of trying to figure out what they're assessing and how they're trying to assess it. So it's definitely interesting. Um apparently if your thoughts are quiet and you just dream of a ticking clock, you could have BPD. That is wild. Okay. That is very specific. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Should we? Where are we at? We're at. I've got about a hard out at 6:15. I can probably stretch it to, but we should probably. I want to try to at least get 2 sprints done today. So we should probably dive in. I think we can do 2. It's 4:20 right now. So if we start now, we'll end a little bit after 5. So with the 10-minute, yeah, we should be able to do 2. No, we should be able to do 2 at 40, unless I'm mathing wrong. I think we should. I think we got it. I think we can do 2 Yeah, I think we can do 2 40-minute sprints. If not, we'll adjust as we go. But we should probably dive on in, to do that. I trust your method. Remind that's a unwise. That is a unwise decision. Math is not my specialty, but I think I'm correct. I was like, you've slept more than me presently. Yeah, well, I could sleep all day. I could sleep all day, every day, and be the most rested person in the world. And I'm still gonna be counting on my fingers when I'm calculating a tip. So I'm not great at it. Okay, all right, let us kill the music. And switch music over, and then we will dive on in to the sprints. I think, knock on wood, I think my computer is not going to crash, which is pretty nice, given how hot it is. All right, we'll just do all the top songs from the last. All right, I couldn't figure out Muppet Time, let alone math. Muppet Time, let alone math. For sure. All right, everybody. Let's dive on in. Happy writing, and we will see you on the other side. And away we go. Ooh. There we go. Oh, hell yeah, that's badass. Cryptid, hell yeah. Oh my god, snap. That is the end of the sprint. Good lord. I got like nothing done. Jeez. Alright, alright. Chat's over. Or chat's over. Time's over. Sprint's over. Jesus. I don't even know what's happening. I don't know. I'm getting like rapid fire things. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully that was somewhat productive. A little bit. Glad it's me playing since I'm more roleplay writing exercise focused. This could get so bad so fast with the wrong person. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, start the down timer. Sorry, I got yappy. It's all yeah. Well, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm actually shocked. I have never gone off about my Scandinavia time. Like, yeah, I spent a long time in Denmark, and there was a period where I had like a week off. And so my partner at the time and I ended up taking a ferry over to Oslo and spent like I think a week in Oslo. We were at a cabin in the fjords and like all kinds of stuff. It was wild, man. That was back in 2017. Yeah, I love it over there. Like adore it over there. This is totally random, but I've decided on not doing my own cover art because I'm my own worst enemy. Oh no! But I found an amazing cover artist on Etsy, and their work is beautiful. I'm going to get some custom by them later when I say, hell yes, Moon Runes. That's great, though. I mean, if you find someone you really like that vibes well with the work, or think that they work. You know what's actually funny is one of my favorite Alien comic books is it's written by one of the best like French artists I've ever seen, but the art was done by a different artist that they specifically got to do the art for the thing that they wrote. And like the melding of those two minds actually worked out perfectly. So it might actually like, make it might actually be like a fun little like collaboration. I don't know. Sometimes it actually like it's really great. Brain cell over. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. You have not. That's awesome. I'm glad you found an artist you like. Exactly. Yeah, that sounds magical. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, I'm trying to think like we stayed outside of Oslo. It was like we were out in the woods in this like tiny cabin that was run by this I think they were like psychiatrists, but they were very nice. They invited us over for dinner. We had dinner with them a couple of nights. They were very sweet. And yeah, they just ran this sort of like bed and breakfast cabin thing, and we were just out there in the woods, like out in the fjords in the woods. I think somewhere I have a picture. There were mines, like these old mines, where they would like dig. I can't remember if it was ore. I know some of it was used to make ice because they would ship ice from the shipyards there. They would actually like make giant ice blocks in these things and then lift them out and put them on ships and then ship the ice. But that was like one of their major industries back in the day. But I think it was a mine, but there's just like an empty coffin in one, and it was like my perfect size. So it was like a perfectly sized coffin that was just in this like dark cave mine that is like my size. So anyway, I got a picture. I have a picture of me standing right next to this coffin that like I would fit perfectly in. Anyway, it's the whole thing. But yeah, anyway, like I did a lot of exploring, a lot of hiking, a lot of like digging around in like archaic places in Norway. It was a good time. Highly recommend if you ever get a chance to go. The problem is if I go back to Finland, I might come back. Yeah, I mean, that's my problem with Denmark. If I go to Copenhagen, I love that city. Oslo is like a fishing village that I would 100% retire in. If I retired in Norway, I would die happy. And they're also like diehard tabletop RPG people. Like 100%. Like they love RPGs. I don't think they tend to do D&D as often over there, but like, I mean, Free Leagues games, which are all based over, I think they're based in Sweden, but like Draco Draconer, or what we call Dragonbane over here, is incredible. It's one of my favorite fantasy RPGs. I'm pretty sure they're pretty big Call of Cthulhu folks out there. Yeah, I don't know. The game stores were huge when I was over there. Like they take gaming seriously. Oh my god, you went a place for a nap. Yep, I just lay down in the coffin. Yep. Need moon runes need it. Moon runes are like it's they do. You all just want these pictures in the Discord because then they all end up getting turned into memes. So I will find this picture of me in some dark, dank cave in Norway with a coffin, and it'll wind up being a goddamn meme at some point. Hosier's in a week starts playing. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Cryptid. My last name is from the lake of my family lived on. Oh, that's cool. We actually don't know our last name. We don't know what the original last name was. Sweden's another place I wouldn't leave if I wouldn't either. Sweden's gorgeous. Sweden, like, the country is great. Like, in terms of, like, the nature. Like, all those areas up there, they're all just lush and gorgeous. They do get very cold. And they're very cold in the summer. They're just cold. If you put them in the meme board, what else are we supposed to do? That's true. That is true. It is my fault for putting them in the meme board. Moon runes, exactly. I think I just put them because I didn't know where else to put them. But I guess I was asking for it in that case. So that's fair. That is fair. That's fair. I did. If you know enough of your crossover info, Ellis Island digitized everything. No, I think we told them the wrong name. Or we changed our name because we committed a crime. We're not sure yet. I know some of my aunts have gotten really into like trying to trace a bunch of this stuff back. So either they messed up the last name, we just didn't give them our last name, or we committed some crime and changed our last name to get away from the law, which is also probably just as likely. Knowing my family, would not be shocked. My dad's side has a cool coat of arms. Yeah, on that side, we have the Bruces, from the Scots. From the Scottish side, we come from the Bruce family, so we have I could technically go get a kilt made that would be the sort of Bruce colors, or at least the kilt design that they tended to have, plus the coat of arms and all that kind of stuff. My dad says, I think I have a pic of it in somewhere. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. My grandfather has a one of names, so mine was oh, that's nice. That's nice. Nice, that tracks, yeah. It's just kind of, you come from a family of criminals. It's like, I mean, there's a reason. Ours got cut off because I do know in Norway we were tenant farmers. We were poor farmers, and we didn't own a farm. So tenant farmers, we would travel from farm to farm and work each farm. I do know that. Mass folk didn't want to spell it, so that's how I have the last. Oh yeah, the funny thing is my last name is German, and I have no German in me. So, but either they gave us the German name or we took it from someone. Not sure. Otherwise, it would be a very long name. That is true. Yeah, particularly from Finland, that would make sense. I'm trying to think what else. What else did? The parks in Oslo are absolutely gorgeous. I'm trying to think what else if you like fish, man. If you like fish, particularly smoked fish and salmon and all, that is heaven on earth. The only problem that I have with Scandinavian countries is the lack of spicy food. It's the one thing that the desert has impressed upon me. Is my love of like Mexican food and spices. Is that like every time the only time I got anything that had any amount of spice, including getting the spiciest version at restaurants. Like I would get the spiciest food imaginable, and it would taste sweet. It wouldn't even taste spicy. The only time I could get an actual spicy place is there was a market in Copenhagen, like a farmer's market, where there was a Vietnamese couple, and they had traditional banh mi's. And so I could actually get a banh mi there that, had like jalapenos on it. So that was like, it became a struggle to get spicy food. So, because it was very hard for me to find spicy food in Scandinavia. Hold on, wait, I want to look at this. Wait, it's got a goddamn castle? It's got a castle? What? Okay, hold on. I gotta see this. I gotta see this. Hold on. Ah! Come on, Discord. Let me see this. Oh, shit. What? Oh, that is sick, Moon Runes. That is oh, I love the color. Dude, the colors rock. Wait a minute. Does your coat of arms literally have someone giving, like, the fucking power sign? Like a fist? What? Wait a minute. My aunt bought it back from Edinburgh. Yeah, back in the 70s, I think. Dude. You literally have, like, a fucking, like... You literally have, like, the power, like, solidarity fist coming out of the top of that. What? Okay, that is... This is the best... Okay, Moon Runes gets the best coat of arms. You have the coolest family coat of arms. It 100% is just a big Scottish F you to England. Yeah, that's the coat of arms. This is the coat of arms you bear when you're, like, literally, yeah, giving the giant middle finger to, you know, King Edward. That's amazing. Oh my god. Okay, all right. I am how do I swear fealty to your family name and castle, Moon Runes? I just want the coat of arms. So I will swear fealty to your lordships so I can at least have such a badass coat of arms. I literally would 100% go to whoever had the coolest coat of arms, and I'm that vain, but I would do it. We will fight for Moon Runes 100%. That's what I'm doing. I'm swearing fealty to the family line of Moon Runes so I can get the badass coat of arms. I'm totally calling myself a princess now, as you should, Moon Runes. Proudly. You should yeah, and you not only can you call yourself a princess, but you have knights now. You straight up have knights. Yeah. You at least got this streamer right here. Pretty sure you might have cryptid too. I'll add it to your roles in Discord. Exactly. We'll fight for Moon Runes in the drafts and the Scrivener files. Exactly. Yep. Yes, Princess and Keeper of the Flame. There you go. There we go. Those are Moon Runes names. Perfect. Okay. All right. We got to start. All right. We're gonna start a sprint. I'm gonna go make tea. I'm gonna go make tea, and you know, we'll dive on into the sprint. I will have to find a way to write the epic medieval poem of my new filial loyalty to the moon, to Princess Moon Runes, the Keeper of the Flame. All right, happy writing, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. All right. We did it. We did it, everybody. Go team. Look at that. We did 2 sprints at 5:55 with 5 minutes left to go. Look at that. Look at that. That is called time management. I did it. It was 50% less chatty. No, it was fine. We did good. We did good. But look at that. Look at that. I feel like this is a time management win. I feel like we all collectively came together. Progress was made on various projects. We got to and we all got to find out that we're gonna start our new lives as knights, in the name of Moon Runes, and while also getting words done. It was productive. This stream was productive. I feel like very rarely does a stream happen that's this productive. I did write words. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Luckily, I actually wasn't even going to script this. I was just going to storyboard it. But I figure as I'm getting back into like storyboarding based on scripting and stuff, I'm going to write it out and then I'm going to storyboard it. So it kind of works out. We're knights now and everything. It's true. It's true. We're knights now. We're cool. We have titles. We have the code of chivalry. We're cool now. I need a tiara badge. Oh my god, you do. Oh my god, Moon Runes. Absolutely. Oh, that's so perfect. 100%. Yeah, you absolutely need a tiara badge. I have no idea how badges work on here, but I'll see if I can get a role assigned on Discord. I will look into the badges. I know there's a way to do it, but the Twitch like changed everything, so I don't. How I initially thought it was done, it has now radically changed once again. So I don't know. So I'll have to look it up. I might have to ask our Worm Overlord about that, but I'll get it. Yeah. Discord's easier. Well, it's also easier to set permissions. It's actually weirdly easier to set permissions and specific permissions in Discord than it is on like Twitch. But a tiara badge, absolutely, for Moon Runes. 100%. But we will do that. But anyway, we are going to have to call stream there, sadly. But I'm glad I got to hang out with all of you, even though I'm sorry it was so short. Not doing a full stream tonight. Yeah, because I can assign roles just for giggles. Yeah, which is also fun. That's also very funny and delightful. But yeah, sorry it's a shorter stream, but we should be back on Friday. I am going to try to actually have a full stream on Friday. Should be good as long as my corpo work is all done and we're good to go. But yeah, we should be able to stream on Friday without too much trouble. Yes, it's good to hang out. Trying to get back to 2 times a week. That's the goal. Is just get back to a normal goddamn week. Is all I want. It's all I want. This is all I want in my life. Good night. It was good. Thank you. It was great having you back and hanging out. And hopefully there will be plenty more as we continue on into 2026. Woohoo. Oh shit. Okay, I will be there and hopefully rested so I can work. Yeah, I mean, don't stress, Crypta, if you can't be. It's totally fine. Yeah, if you, for whatever reason, if you can't make a stream, it's not the end of the world. And be unhinged in chat. Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Try to get some sleep if you can. I know it's hard, particularly suffering from insomnia, but definitely try to get some sleep. Rest up. January's been a lot for all of us. It has been exhausting, so I'm glad we're all still here. We're all still making words. So, all right. We'll see you all hopefully on Friday. Love you all. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Adios.